Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're to join me today here next to the machines in our memory. It's weird, this is memories from the Changing God, I believe, and from different cast-offs as well, I believe. And you see those images over there? Yeah, so I was trying to figure out if I could find something in them. The colors, I think, mean something. Because they are all different colors. These are all the tides and all that sort of stuff. So this was the purple tide, and it's got the Changing God casting or aligning the tides, and basically he forced his wheel into a machine to stop a temporal stasis or whatever.
I should really get moving before someone tries to kill me.
Indeed. And yeah, that's why he's complaining, because I've been looking at this for a while. I don't know if that changes something, but or if that means anything. But because this one doesn't actually show anything. This was just a guy getting into, or the Changing God getting into a bar, and everybody kind of picking a fight, and it was like, yeah, I'm the Changing God. I'm a badass, and that's what he did. And this one, well, let's see what it is. The image, yeah, let's go in. Let's let it take me in. You are watching a display cast through crystal prisms. The images and the colors are jagged rainbow, just as they have been in every previous iteration of this machine. This is actually the memory. This is not me looking at the machine, right? Yeah. When this should be a single glowing picture, at least if this device is to function as intended. You hiss through your teeth in frustration. How many years must you wait in trying to align these energies? Is this effort fruitless? Turn it off, you snarl. Your apprentice pays you no heed. A moment longer, he murmurs. Just a moment. He is kneeling before the control panel, and he reaches in to make a slight adjustment. Above him, the images and the colors align. He sits back on his haunches, an enormous grin wreathing his face. I knew it, he laughs. I could hear it whispering to me. It's like it wants to be done. This is my masterpiece. Now, what's the next step? You're not sure if your cast-off prodigy is talking to you or the machine. You stare at the back of his head. He's undeniably gifted. In certain aspects, you have to admit, he even surpasses you. This is, after all, part of why you constructed his body the way you did. But now that he's achieved this, do you dare to let him return to the world? He knows your deepest secrets now, and holds your futures in his hands. But you feel a certain affection for him. To kill him would be poor thanks indeed. Instead, you speak. Mad's off. This is the guy we're looking for. You whisper. He turns around. The instant he makes eye contact, the full force of your psychic power crashes through his meager defenses. You insinuate yourself into his memories and erase the details of this last year of work. It's a crude tool, a bludgeon, but you tell yourself that it's kinder than destroying him. You almost believe it. So, I'm not really sure what the Changing God thinks, because it's like he's, I don't know. The memories are very honest with themselves, but then it makes sense because these are memories, and I'm looking at them with somebody else's eyes. It's like when we think of our own memories, like in that particular situation, our own interpretation of that memory, or if we were the Changing God, would be, you almost believe it. We disregard that feeling of almost believing that interpretation of what we just did. But somebody else would feel that feeling in, a memory is just, a re-evoked feeling, as it were. You'd feel that, and you'd understand it differently because you'd have a different perspective. Especially because this memory is so isolated from everything else, so... And this is the golden... I suppose it is the golden, golden tide. I don't really know... I can't really tell. A low aromatic fog surrounds this device, and every whiff of the vapor conjures up a memory from deep within you. The golden one is the one about being nice and all this sort of stuff. I think the blue is about the one being reasonable, but I don't really know. I don't really remember. The cheering throng that spreads across that spreads before you across Government Square has a voice like thunder, rolling and booming through the city. The people in it are victims, survivors, victors, and the last of their enemies kneels before you on the broad steps. You hold your hands aloft for silence. The thunder subsides to a low murmur and becomes a quite hungry wait. They want to see vengeance. And so do you. Oh, the ache is so strong. I wonder if this is the genocide dude that we found before. I'm gonna write it down over here. Genocide. He's the last of his people. The last of the people that invaded the land. The Castoff's place. Let's see what it is. Ogesti Telkoto, you proclaim. Orphan Maker. Hope Smasher. The crowd seethes at his titles. Today is the day of your judgment, you roar. Today is the day the Tabat, indeed it is, the Tabat pay in full for the crimes against our citizens, against humanity everywhere. Today sees an end at last to the Tabat. The crowd erupts in frenzied joy. You lean forward and whisper in his ears, you have two choices, a quick death or an immortality for which you sacrifice your ambition and your freedom. The Tabat stares at you, his strange eyes wide. Why? He asks. Because one choice will end your subjugation, here, now, cleanly. The other will give you immortality, but by imprisoning you in time. But consider, one day I might die, and on that day, you'll still be here. I'm giving you a gift, if you can master it. A victory, but only if you can learn the deadly art of patience. The Tabat scowls, sensing some trick. You touch him with your mind to shove him over the edge of desire. He winces as the ripple of your psyche washes over him. He rumbles, death holds no fear, but I will tell the future how I bested you. Huh. You smile as you turn away, signaling the machine that will enslave him to your will. Then you pause. I actually thought he was gonna, for a moment there, I thought he was gonna deny, he was gonna say, I want to die, because he was sensing a trick. And quite clearly, it was gonna be a trick, I think. I think it is, but I thought the changing god was gonna force him to choose with his mind or something. He was a notable foe, he says, or thinks, or remembers. Perhaps he deserved better than to be a permanent marker to your triumph. You owed him the right to make him his own choices, you think. Then you remember the faces of the sickened and dying. You inject him yourself. Huh. So that's the yellow tide, not the golden tide. This is the golden tide, or orange, or something. Let me look at my character. So my tides are gold and blue. And I think the little thingy over here is maybe the tattoo that we have, or a mask or something. Looks like an eye place or eye socket or something. So the gold tide represents empathy, compassion, and sacrifice. The blue tide represents wisdom, reason, and enlightenment. Yeah, I was right about that. Okay, let's see what this one is. They're harmless, so I'm not going to save. The little device issues a series of ticks and clicks, and each one calls to a different part of your mind. You feel a memory coming. Let's allow the memory to come. You're lost in the scent of her hair, the taste of her mouth, the feel of her skin. You stumble against the door and fumble with the lock, unwilling to break contact with this remarkable, beautiful, wonderful woman. Even before you manage to wrestle the door open, you're already shrugging all out of your clothes. Once inside, the rest of your clothes disappear as if by magic. The city outside is noisy, but you can't hear the din of the market as you focus on her breath, her eyes, her body, and the day vanishes like your clothes. Eventually, hours later, night falls, and the two of you collapse onto the ruined bed. She drifts off to sleep, whispering in your ear of what you could accomplish together. As her contented breathing warms your chest, you reflect. You never expected Sally Mary to be like this when you sought her out. You intended only to take advantage of her position and her expertise, but she has become so much more in such a short time. She makes you reconsider everything you've been striving towards for all these years. Gods, you don't remember feeling love like this for anyone since... No. Another memory swells, and it reminds you of your goal. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it's interesting. That word right there, I hope it wasn't by mistake, because he's a changing god. I really don't think he is a god himself. He's just a victim to something, or he inherited a power, or he got a power. And I need to go back to Sally Mary as well. I'm writing it down over here. Sally Mary on my notepad. If I can go back to Sagas Glyphs, I will go back to Sally Mary. So another memory swells, and it reminds you of your goal. And that's the thing. Somebody else you loved. It was the other Castoff, wasn't it? Yeah, it makes total sense. It was the first Castoff. Huh. It makes sense. In more than one... Anyway, let's continue. Can't really put my thoughts into words. What you want in this moment can't distract you from the centuries you have spent building this life. You stroke Sally Mary's hair, and the tides trickle from you into her dreams. You break her love for you. Really? Turning it back to the work you discussed. You refocus her mind and rebuild her affection. You don't want to lose this, but you can't cast off your ambition. You lie in bed, waiting for her to wake, for the work to start again. A single tear wells in your eye. You dash it away. Huh. That doesn't make sense. How is it that compassion? I mean, he's an emotional person, I think. That's not the first time he's got a lot of... I don't know. I have no idea. I don't understand. Okay, what are these things? These look remarkably like the resonance chambers. These laboratory must have been constructed from memories of your sire's first experiments with it. Okay, the resonance chamber, I think it might be the way to create a body or something like that. But let's get out of here. We can't really do much from now on. So we're just gonna go back to life, because, well, effectively, that's what happened. We died with a pyramid, and or in a pyramid or something, and we're gonna go back to the Castoff hideaway or something. Hey, man, what are you doing? Go away. Shoo! You did it, says the Spectre. This whole place feels, I don't know, brighter now. But don't get cocky. The sorrow can still kill you well and good in the real world. Find Mazov before that happens. Yeah, what should I do now? He's gonna tell. Yeah, you have to find Mazov. I know. Has anything changed? Not even then. Come on, seriously, you just told me things have changed. Oh, well, whatever. It's not a problem. We need to go, no need to fix Heritage again. But that's good. There's still another place over here. I'm sure this is gonna open something else. It's gotta because... No, wait a minute. That's the only place for us to look into the depths, isn't it? Yep, that's gonna be something. This here is gonna be something. It could be an arena of sorts. So these are all, like, pointy and rounded edges, not very straight edges all over the place, and this has got like this crystal formation, and over here we have a straight edge and then pointed and rounded, and then there's these breaks, and that's why I'm thinking this is gonna be but then again, these are pointed and rounded, so it makes sense. These are not. I don't know if I don't know. Let's continue. Thank you? What? Sure. I mean, you're welcome, I suppose. Man, what a beautiful wallpaper, that one. Not wallpaper, just a picture. Hey! Go away! Why are you here? Lady Anshe tells me you touched the ferretry. I'd laugh if I hadn't done the same thing myself, says Melmoth Laviarn. Come now, she says. Who are you? Why are you... This is a Dendro Ur. Or what looks like, anyway. Your eyes are drawn to the tattered leather robes and the profusion of tubes that wire this man. He's lighter skinned, with piercing eyes and a hideous pitted scar on his face. He could be handsome, but centuries of neglect have ravaged his looks. Okay, so it's just, oh man, we have so many weird things. I think he looks a little bit like Mazov. He looks you over and rasps. So you're the new Castoff, hey? Well, come to ask me about my Dendro Hur? Or do you have some other trick you need to show off? He waves his hands irritably. Never mind, you have questions for Melmoth. What? Yeah, the ferretry. What happened to me? Curiosity happened to you, he says. He clasps you hard on the shoulder. No one knows. I'd venture so far as to say it's some kind of psychic defense mechanism to keep prying noses from tampering with it. But I've gotten precisely nowhere with my investigations, so all you get from me is useless speculation. Tell me about yourself. His lopsided smile seems like more of a grimace. I'm Melmoth Leviarm. I'm the creator of the Dendro Hur, the greatest, or at least most innovative, of the brotherhoods that seek to pass along knowledge from one generation to the next. So many people back away from me because of the way I look, or the way I speak, but let me tell you that in this body I lived countless lives, seen endless worlds, experienced memories that beggar description. Is that the word? Is that how it's written? I mean, it must be, but I've never seen it written, but yeah, it's cool. Beggar's belief, right? Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, but yeah. Shouldn't it be beg belief? That's gotta be a different word, I mean. That's gotta be a different word. Anyway, I contain worlds, he says, and they judge me by my appearance? Sometimes I wonder who I'm saving this knowledge for. That's a very good question. That's a very good question, dude. That's the problem with the Dendro Hur, because why would you eat all the knowledge if you can share it properly? If you can put it to good use? But then again, who am I? I mean, eat all the knowledge you like. I mean, it's better than going to waste. That must for sure. So what can you tell me about the Dendro Hur? Oh, they call us the Eaters of the Dead. We take the knowledge from their fading flesh. Every life flickers and dies, and When knowledge disappears, the world grows darker. The rain of death washes away experience I want to preserve. Each of the dendra is a library of experience. The feral grin flickers on his mouth and vanishes. A feral grin. Every life that vanishes is a loss. Every person living has a story. The secret keys of history hide there. I want truth. I want exposure. I want knowledge to live. You want knowledge for you yourself to live, or do you want knowledge to live itself? You know what I mean? Can you tell me more? Death is a waste of history. We eat the dead that we might remember the lessons of time. Okay. So with all of your acquired knowledge, you must have a unique outlook on the endless battle.
Making a note.
A waste of life and a criminal waste of knowledge, he says. The weapons being discharged are lost to us forever. The weapons? Each life gone is an experience that will disappear into the mists of eternity, snuffed away, forgotten, never to be seen again. He leans in. Our sires sought to cheat death, to stop that kind of waste. It is beyond my reasoning why he'd allow the endless battle to continue. Well, I hope this is not another John Irenica situation where you just, oh, I want her to live again. No, no, I don't. I don't think it is, because John Irenica actually had a different mindset and different reasoning and all that sort of stuff. But actually, he didn't want her to live again, did he? I don't think that was what happened. I might be mistaken. What can you tell me about the other cast-offs here? He leers an ugly smile. They're idiots and fools. They think their shields can protect them from the sorrow forever. I came here to retrieve some research, and every time I come, I think of how much knowledge is in their minds and their bodies, and I wish they would just die already so I could gain access to their wasted experiences. On the other hand, he scratches a small infection in his hand. On the other hand, he says, they're the closest I have to peers. Gods, what does that say about me? Indeed. So, can you tell me anything else? Does he change? No, let's not. I'm looking for Mazov. Huh? Him? That useless thinker. Why? Well, because I really think that he's trustworthy. These guys they're useless. I think they never put anything. I think they're represented by the game as just they're useless. They don't do anything. They just know all these things. They have opinions, and they just don't. They're not active. I need him to fix a resonance chamber. He sepals his fingers, lost in contemplation. A resonance chamber? I remember the term. Something about the building of it, the crystal. Ah, the particulars escape me, but Mazov would be the one to fix it. Too bad he's not here. Try asking Adiris. Adiris, okay. I'll do that. Don't eat anything I wouldn't eat, he says. How should I know what you would eat? Anyway, Lady Anche, can you tell me about what happened there? Because I saw things in my memory. Welcome back, little brother. What do you need? So... What? Oh, there's the healers. What did the factory do to me? I'm gonna ask. It killed you, of course. It'll do that every time, by the way. Just ask Melmoth over there. The corners of her lips turns. Yeah, I suppose. So can you... this is all again, right? Yeah, all again. Okay, one of my companions is troubled by demons of some kind. Can anyone here help him? She looks immediately at Eritis, who brightens literally and figuratively at being noticed. I can't say I've ever seen something like this before. And none of us are doctors, sorry to say. Who would be doctor? Maybe the guys in the fifth eye? This guy's all weird. Did I talk to him? Or her? Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Oh, you too, brother. Okay, so that's a way for me to die. That's fantastic. What about this thing? The passageways of this structure are much too small for a human to enter. Thick flora blocks the view of what lies inside. I think this is the thing that we see in the beautiful wallpaper. But they are small? Why? Is that a maquette? Or how's the, what is the name, English word for maquette? Like a mock-up sort of thing. Got a cast-off over here. Hey, man, you don't have a name? You don't have a history? You're the latest version, huh? No, not much of an improvement. Well, you haven't seen one I've seen. Hey, oh, no, that's our quest. That's our objective. Let's not go there immediately. We got a lot of generators, maybe? Probably lift generators for this platform. This looks like something of a flying thing. No. Oh, well, it might be, but because we see... It might be. And there's structures as well. This is a weird place. What about this thing? It looks dark and cool inside this living structure. Unfortunately, the door is closed. Also, the door... Yeah, the door is closed. Dark and cool. Why would you want dark and cool? So we... What? Why did... okay. Elkishai. This slim Castoff looks to be in his late teens. He carries an odd-looking device that resembles a scorched circle, and it's not hard to draw the connection between it and the red mark of a recent injury that travels across his forehead and under his hair. The man seems confused, hesitant, as if he has so many questions that he's unsure which to ask first. I want to ask. I'm not sure. He gives a shaky smile. I want to ask you a lot. We all do. About him? He thinks. No, something he did? Maybe. Yes? So he's confused even on his head. Okay, well, it makes sense as well. What kind of questions did you have for me? You forced your way through our portal, he says. It kept us safe from the sorrow. Now it's open. He swallows, eyeing you reproachfully, carefully. You feel a stirring of forces around you. You were reckless, he blurts, avoiding your eyes. You've exposed us, maybe killed us. I don't want to die. He's on the verge of tears. You need to tell me how bad it is, and I need the truth, he says, raising his eyes again. Have you seen it? Have you seen the sorrow? Yes, I have. I knew it, he says, going pale. We're running out of time. Now listen, he says, blinking hard. This is even more important. Have you abused the tides to change things, to influence people? I think so. Very little, though. He groans. Well, it doesn't matter. It'll find you. Every use of your power draws it like a fire in the sky. You should leave, he says, but there's no heat in his words. Maybe it'll follow you, he says, and leave us alone. His trembling hand seeks the red wound of his hairline. What is that? Who did you mean when you said we? He blinks hard at your question, twisting the blackened circlet through his hands. I once fought in the endless battle. Found this, giant clay hand, trapped in a half-shattered block of stone. I took it. He shakes his head as if denying the memory itself. Put it on. The circlet spins through his hands faster and faster. I saw darkness. Knew I was inside the owner of that hand. A clay automaton imprisoned. Knew I could control it. He shivers. I did. Broke it free from the stone. Used it in service of our sire for many years. Thought of it as my armor. He blinks hard again, like a man trying to dislodge a thought with his eyelids alone. Then, a war construct collapsed on the automaton, crushed it, and the crown burned. I remember screaming. Then 100 voices in my head arguing with each other, shouting, fighting. Another hard blink. The automaton wasn't armor. It was a container. A container for gods. Did you say gods? Says Rin. Yes. My armor wasn't a tool. It was a locked chest with a hole inside. A deep hole full of terrible gods. He shuts his mouth and says no more on the subject. Rin, can you help him? I can try, she says, hunkering down to examine Elkishai's eyes. Her small smile falls into a frown. Then she winces. I don't understand these gods. They aren't like any I've met. Ever. They don't speak anything like a proper god. They are rude. She cocks her head to listen more. Al believes they are prisoners, and also not gods at all. And she looks up at him, sad. I have for apologies, sir, for I cannot help you. Elkishai nods glumly, unsurprised. Yes, they said as much to me. Now that I can understand it, he thinks. What do you think it is in your head again? Gods, many, arguing. Okay, so this is like Eretis in a way, I think, maybe. Except for Eretis is demons. But this one might be demons as well. That's interesting. What was the endless battle like?
Making a note.
He shudders. We were killed. The dead crept into my mind. They told me to kill more, and I did, because that's what we do. It's in our nature, We're worse than animals, Castoffs, humans. Whether created or evolved, we are all inclined to conflict. Well, that's just an interpretation. That's not really... I don't know. Tell me... Yeah, I don't think anything... Did you want to ask me more questions? No, I don't. He avoids your eyes. You should go. Go before it comes for all of us. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to fix him... if I fix Eretis? Anyway, let's have a chat here with Raima Zero. This woman bears a toothy smile, enjoying the anger in the man she's speaking with. You probably think if you won, then the endless battle would actually end, she says. This man's face is flushed and angry. Veins throb on his forehead, and his eyes are focused on his companion. Stop talking, Raima! He spits each word, gripping his weapon belt with bloodless fingers. Stop talking or I'll prove you wrong right now. He planned this? He thinks, ridiculous, how would I have known? Okay, so they're cast-offs, I suppose. But it wouldn't do anything of the sort, Reimer replies, grinning as though she intends to eat the man whole and screaming. Even his argument is part of his plan. Do what you have to do, Andronis. If not for the flaw, he says, you'd already be dead, and spits at her feet. Traitor, fool. You child, she says with laughing scorn. You ingrate. I have no idea what's going on. A typical first militia response, she thinks. Angry indignation. Pardon me? What? They shout in unison, whirling on you. What are you arguing about? Best stay out of it, Andronis says. That's the guy. Slashing the air between him and Rayma with his hands. Even a second of her bootlicking nonsense is a waste of your time. Hide from the truth all you want, Rayma says, shaking her head. You know I'm right. You know it. Well, neither of you actually told me what you were arguing about? Of course I didn't, Rayma says, grinning. Andronis never lets me get a word in edgewise. Why should I? Andronis says, with a bitter laugh. All of your words are his, and I've had enough of him for a lifetime. Okay, tell me what you're arguing about. Grinding his teeth together, Andronis merely shakes his head. She chuckles under her breath and runs an easy hand over his scalp. How long have you two known each other anyway? Too long. Agreed, she says. Well, tell me what you're arguing about. And they don't. Well, farewell. They don't even say anything to me. These guys are rude. Huh. And there's cast-offs discussing things over there as well. Okay, and there's another cast-off. So that's just a cast-off. It doesn't actually have a name or a history. And we got a thing over here. Oh, man, this looks like a mirror, maybe? The enormous tower jutting out of the ground looks like a weapon or an antenna of some kind. It makes a soft hissing noise and smells faintly of yeast. Really? Huh. One would have a fantastic view of the plateau from the building of this verdant crag. This all feels extremely familiar. Does it? Huh. Sure. I think this might be oh, these are the shields generators, not the leaf generators or anything. These are just shields. That's the shield that we see above. If only our creator were here, says that cast-off. Indeed. What about this thing? This building contains living quarters, presumably for cast-offs who made a semi-permanent home here. The doors to the structure are locked at the moment. Yeah, they all are, aren't they? And we have a thing over here. Oh boy, the shield is stronger over this side of things. Anyway, let's, what is this? These machines draw power from somewhere on the ground, using it to generate the shields that color the sky. There are several of them around the sanctuary. Indeed, those are the shield generators. And we have another thing over there. It's the tip of some much larger machine. Perhaps whatever's powering the shield generators around the sanctuary. It hums softly, almost musically? Indeed. Okay, well, as I was gonna say, that's about time, because we are out of time. So I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.